Hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of Hot Girl Summer.
My favorite series ever. / the only series we've ever done so far. How exciting is that?
Is that
You
when
have
winter
nothing
comes?
to look forward to.
We can't do it.
Yeah, we'll have to do like a winter series of some sorts.
So today, we're going to do a little compare and contrast.
We are.
We're going to, as, I hate to say this, late 20s.
Excuse me, this is Hot Girl Summer? And you're offending me?
We both have very different living situations.
We do.
And we're just going to let you guys in on some tips, tricks, and horribleness.
Some life hacks, some ranting perhaps, some benefits.
I don't have it on my end, but she probably has.
I have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably don't. Which is weird, but yeah. So although like a few episodes ago I was like, I bought a house. I haven't moved in yet because we're still working on it.
She's making it into a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a bachelorette pad. Meets glam, meets cheap renovations that look good, but don't look at the details, I think is what we're gonna be doing. Just a quick glance. Hopefully you'll just be drunk at my house anyway.
I know I will.
Exactly. That's what I want for everyone. All my visitors need to be drunk. Sounds weird. But, so I currently live at home, and I've always lived at home with my parental unit. So that is my living situation that we're going to dive into.
And I haven't lived at home in 8 years. And I've never lived alone. I've always had a boyfriend I've lived with. So, very different situation. Good and bad ways, I think.
Yeah.
You can start. Just give us a little rundown of maybe what your day-to-day looks like.
So, obviously throughout the years it's changed.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing is my parents are super chill, and I have a really good relationship with them.
Yeah, you do.
So it's almost like living alone / living with cool roommates. Yeah, it's pretty chill normally. I wake up early in the morning to go to the gym anyway. When I wake up, usually no one's awake. So I have that little moment to myself, which is very important for me, to be a sane and functioning human without killing people, is to just have some quiet in the morning, to just have my thoughts / wake up in a very slow cat-like manner.
Yes.
I don't want to be
Disturbed.
I can't wake up and have energy. That just kills my soul. Like I don't want you to be like, hey, good morning. Hey, this is what we have to do today.
Like, hey, F off for like at least an hour.
Yeah, like so we're just I'm gonna go back to bed. We're gonna try this again because that's not gonna work for me. So
mine is obviously mine has also changed over the years because I've dated different people and lived with different people. But usually, as of now, one of us has to get up early and the other one doesn't, and vice versa, whatever day it is. So the worst part about that is I'm waking up early no matter what. You know? And if there's any little inconvenience, you know, obviously, first off, the alarm. But then it's like, hey, where's that green pair of socks? And I'll be like, you need to know where your green socks were at 6 in the morning?
I don't think so. You can probably move past that.
Or the best is, the night before, I'm like, hey, all your clothes are washed and folded, but they're still in the basket. So if you need anything, look in the basket.
So clearly that's hard to do.
And so the next day, it's like, hey, where are my clothes? And I was like,
cool.
You know, it takes every bit of me. Not to just reach.
Well, I'm not gonna, listen, everyone's different. But I will say that there's a pattern I've seen in almost every man alive where they just I don't know how they survive on their own. Like, I would love to study this if I had time and if I really cared that much. But, like, every man, I feel like, doesn't know where something is, but he won't look in.
Oh, but he just won't look.
Or he just won't look.
I've gotten calls. Hey, where's the remote?
Yeah, that's a good one. They're like, where's the ham? I'm like, obviously it's in the closet in the laundry room. Like,
yeah, there's only one place it could be.
Of course it's not in the fridge.
In the dryer.
Yeah. I just dried them. What do you mean?
It's like, one, I don't watch TV. Hardly at all. So, if the remote's missing, I'm not the one who misplaced
You probably
it.
put it somewhere. Like,
and every single day, it's the same question. Where's the remote? I'm like, I don't watch TV. So, wherever you put it last is where it's at.
the answer tends to be the same, consistent.
Yeah.
And yet, tomorrow, brand new day, same new question. Like, it's so amazing to me.
It is. Now, I have a feeling you might not have to deal with a lot of, like, pubes.
I don't think I've ever had to deal with pubes.
Mm.
Well, that's a lie, actually. But not in my home.
In your home, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I have to deal with.
Pubes. I never thought about that.
It's a problem. Toilet seat being left.
Mm-hmm.
Stumbling into the bathroom in the middle of the night, and then you come in the next day, and you're like, I swear to God, you peed on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Because where's that smell coming?
That man smell.
And then forcing him to have to sit down to pee.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just can't keep smelling that smell.
And I just don't know why that's it. You know, I saw this poll question on Instagram, and it was like, would you care if your man sat down to pee? And a lot of girls responded like, yes.
Why would they care?
And I'm like,
oh, they said they would care?
they would care.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like this masculinity thing, but that's toxic. We should just cut that out. I don't know. I feel like also if I had that option, I probably
If I had the option, but I would be good at it.
That's true.
I wouldn't pee on the floor.
That's a good point. I think that's a good distinction.
Yeah.
Like you would try.
I would try.
And
I would
really
maybe like
put in the
look
effort.
where I'm going.
Yeah. You wouldn't like just.
I wouldn't just spritz all over the house like a
text
male
me.
cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leaving my scent around.
You wouldn't do that.
No. So that's a couple things I feel like maybe your situation's better.
I will say that I don't ever have to deal with any of that, which is fantastic.
I don't have to do dishes ever. And I don't cook.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to share chores in that way.
Yeah. And I have the same situation, which is fantastic. I will say one thing that destroys my soul is like, sometimes I'm like, today's not the day. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get home from work. I'm going to do a load of laundry.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to clean the bathroom. Like, I have a list in my head. And then two things may happen. One, I get home and my mom's like, you have to clean this. Like, you have to do it right now. I'm like, I was already going to do that. And she's like, I don't believe you. And I was like, but I was.
Now you don't want to do it.
And now I'm like, okay, well now you're going to think that I'm doing it because you told me
to,
but in reality,
yeah.
I can do it myself.
Yeah.
I got this. Or two, I come home, I have this beautiful plan, work was ridiculous, something comes up, everything's annoying, I'm exhausted, I have so much to do the next day, and I'm like, I can't even function right now. I am
the last thing I want to do is dry ham.
absolutely not going to dry the ham in the dryer. Like, no way. I'm done.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you need to do this. And I'm like, dude, I can't. And then now it's a whole nother thing. So there's that.
Yeah, so I don't have, I have the luxury of saying, you know, I'm not going to do it today, and it's, you know, my house, and you're not going to make me, and I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, no big deal. So that is one perk, I guess.
Yeah. That's one of those things. And, I mean, I was thinking about this before we did this episode. I don't usually have to, like, ask, like, can I go out kind of thing, so, like, that's fine. But I do have to, like, say, like, if I'm going somewhere, I'm like, hey, I can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna go out. It's more like, hey, I'm gonna go out, like, where are you going?
I mean, I have to say, like,
that was my question, because I was like, where, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably this, especially now that you're older, it's probably the same thing. Like, I just want to know where you're at and who's gonna, you know, who you're going with, just for your safety.
Yeah.
I mean, peace of mind. But I don't need to know, like,
be home by 7.
Yeah. Or like, what time do you think you're gonna be back? I don't know, maybe between 10 and 12.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like,
okay, so similar. That's
I don't have to give you like, okay, I'll be home by 9. Like,
yeah.
And it's 9:01. They're like, where are you?
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be awful.
I don't miss those days.
Oh god, the stress, the absolute stress.
You would literally put your life on the line.
Oh.
To get back on time.
Remember, I was on a date, and I had to be home by 10, and this person was taking forever. And I was like, no, like, we gotta wrap this up. And at this point, I was like, I'm freaking out. I'm not having a good time on this date anymore. And I got home at like 10:20. I was like in fear. Luckily, my parents were super cool, but I was like, I'm so like, I just wanted to be very clear and very known here that it was not in my control. Like, I was like, let's wrap this up. And he's like, no, let's get ice cream. And I'm like, to go. That's a whole, God, I still remember, like, the fear.
Yeah, there's been definite times, and there's been times where I've been stranded, you know, without a vehicle.
Life is weird.
I was at a party, and I was out in the woods, and I'm like, I gotta get home, but you know what?
I can't.
So I had to ask people.
Just random people, anyone available.
To drive me out of the woods and to Walmart. I reckon. It always comes back to Walmart.
All roads lead to Walmart in Palatka.
That's probably true. That's probably a true statement.
That's like the center of the town.
Yeah,
so yeah, that makes sense. Who knew?
Yeah, and there's so much fear and panic. And you're like, I don't care if we get pulled over or get in a wreck. Honestly, if we get in a wreck, it would be better.
A good excuse.
It's a good excuse. And they can't pinpoint, to the minute what time it happened.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, Mom, I was on the way home.
I was on the way home. I had ample time, and this guy out of nowhere. Yeah. That's why I'm late. And honestly, it's a miracle I'm alive.
You should be happy.
And we should just get rid of curfew because it's obviously not safe for anyone. So,
yeah, you should give me, maybe just a courtesy.
Just promise you won't be mad.
Yeah.
Just do that. Let's just get that out of the way.
How would you be, say you had a 16-year-old daughter? What's your rules?
16-year-old daughter.
Just got a car.
I would say weekdays be home by 10, weekends midnight.
And are you like, I need the number of the girl you're going to go stay with?
Absolutely.
And her mom's number?
Yeah.
And her address?
Yeah.
And you have to call me?
Damn, I'm going to be an annoying mom. Damn it.
I mean, yeah. I'm a helicopter mom as it is to my dogs. And even when I'm around my nephews, I'm very much just helicopter-y. And everyone else is like, who cares? They'll be fine. If they get hurt,
no.
We'll know. I'm like, but we need to wrap them in tape and just...
I just hope, my hope is that I'm able to find a good relationship with my child where I can be like, I'm going to be really disappointed if you do X, Y, Z.
But I want to know.
But you need to tell me, and we can, figure this out together. Because I was your age once. Jesus, I'm old. I'm literally going to say those things, and my child's going to be like, you're so lame. You don't
know anything. You were never 15.
Yeah. Boy, was I.
I was 15 so many times.
It was very much 15. So yeah, that's my hope and dreams.
I can't remember where I saw this, but this family had a rule, and if the kid came to them, then they couldn't get in trouble. And whatever it was.
I've heard that.
Whatever it was, they're like, they called it something, I can't remember what it was. But whatever it was, I'm being truthful right now, and I need your help or whatever, and I can't get in trouble. And I think it's a good rule.
Yeah.
Because it keeps the kids from keeping secrets if they're in danger. If they're in real danger, they will come to you and they know that they can trust you to put your feelings aside.
That's true.
But there's been times, especially, I know a lot of kids I went to high school with, so many things you'd be scared to tell your parents, and they had to go do things on their own.
Yeah, I remember there was this girl in high school who she was drinking or something. Cops came and they put her in the back of a cop car, and she's like, if you call my parents, I'm gonna kill myself. And because she said that, they had to bake her actor. Yeah. and then she had to do that instead, and like obviously she was like out of just pure fear, like
At the
I'd
moment,
rather die.
in the moment, you're
than
like,
this.
I might try it for real.
Yeah, like I would much rather die than you ever tell my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oof.
Yeah.
Now it's on your record. Like, there's just so much that went wrong right then. But I get it.
But even like, I mean, abortions.
Yeah.
Like, I would be sick if I found out my kid felt like they had to go down my back to do that. I'd be like, I wanted to be there for you, you know?
I never thought about that. Now I'm in
The rule has to be,
be.
if you come to me, I will help you with whatever you need, and you won't get in trouble. Unless you murdered someone, I might have to call the police. I don't know.
I'll help you bury the body.
Yeah.
But you probably will still get in trouble with me. You might get grounded.
Yeah. Your phone might be taken.
You'll probably not have a phone.
Yeah, I would try to do something like that. Like, let you the rules, but if you come to, be home by 10 or else you're in trouble. But if you come to me with a problem
and it's valid,
I will be there for you.
That's a good rule.
Well, I'm never having kids, so you can take it.
All right, cool. Probably me neither. So,
cheers.
Cheers. I'm glad we thought about that rule for no one.
For all of you out
For
there.
all of you. Let us know how that works.
Yeah.
They're like, you've ruined everything.
Or they're like, you don't know anything about kids, that would never work.
Yeah, everyone's like, we already tried that back in the 80s and it didn't work. Like, oh, okay. We did that in the 90s. I'm like, I don't know about that. What is going to sleep like? Because I imagine that you guys have a different sleep schedule. Is that annoying? Like, what is the...
Oh, so I'll tell you what I prefer. He won't go to bed without me, but I love going to bed with him. Only because I like to read before I go to bed, and I when you're reading, you want to be alone, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, anything can bother you at that time because you're in it, and anything can take you out of it, right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, okay, I like to be alone that time, and I like to be in bed, and I'm like, now that I'm out of school, I might be reading for an hour or two. I finished a book yesterday, and started a book yesterday. What I meant to say is I started and finished the same book yesterday. It's because I'm just reading, and he's like, you need to slow down and say something. I'm like, I can't.
There are so many new books out there. I have so much work to do.
Oh. So that's one thing that I prefer to do that. Another thing is, and I think this has to do with his ADHD. But so what I've read is that people with ADHD have a really hard time with impulse control.
Okay, that
makes sense. But it also
checks out.
Yeah, but it also goes along with like movements. So a normal person might be laying on their back and like pull the covers up like this while they're sleeping. But he goes, every movement is like that. If he wants to pull the blanket down, instead of just like, I would just grab it and pull it down with my arm while I'm sleeping. He goes, every movement is like that. And then he starts this weird thing where he puts both of his knees up while he's sleeping, and then he slowly...
I have no idea.
How long has he been standing there?
I was too awkward to ask for a comment.
It looked like he was going to his friend's house. I would bite that. Anyway. There's this weird thing where he puts his legs up while he's sleeping, and then over time he goes... So what I do, as soon as I feel him put his legs up, I take my leg and just
Wait, he does it while he's sleeping?
No, while he's sleeping.
What a weird
So as soon as he puts his legs up, I take my leg, whichever one's closest to him, and I just side sweep his legs as hard as I can.
Nope! We're not
and his
doing
legs
this.
just go right out.
And he stays asleep?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow, weird sleeping.
He also
habits.
talks in his sleep. Like the other night, he was like, when you're done with it, tuck it back in.
You sure he was asleep?
And I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, or what kind of dream you're having.
Excuse me? Who are you talking to? Because I know it's not me.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I wonder, I feel like it was like pizza rolls or something.
Yeah, it's something.
Like there was no way that he was talking about anything actually legit. He's probably like, when you're done with the burrito, just talking about it.
Yeah. So that I can take a bite. But it's just stuff like that. So I prefer to be asleep before him so I can miss all of that.
That sounds really splendid, yeah.
Because if I'm already having trouble going to sleep,
And then you have to deal with all of those things.
I almost can't. Like, I'll be almost asleep and then I'll feel...
You feel the legs coming up, you're like, no!
No, I'll just be... Yeah, I'll feel the legs coming up. Well, that won't... The waking me up will be him sliding his legs down like this. But what really wakes me up is his, like, jerky movements.
Yeah.
Even to turn over, it's like, he, like, flips. And when I ask people that I know, like, everyone has a roommate, and they tell me stuff,
There's always something.
it's always awful.
Yeah.
And every time, I'm like, I could never.
I would hate that person.
Oh my god. Even if they were the nicest person.
Yeah.
They
can
would
be
do
so
one little
nice.
thing, and I'd be like,
Anything.
this is why I need to live alone.
Yeah. Like, imagine you come home from a long day, and they're like, hey, I accidentally took your whatever. I'm so sorry. I'd be like, you can actually fuck off.
Yeah. Or like, you know, hey, I ate your this, but I promise I'll replace it next week. And I'm just like,
Honestly, you could probably just find a replacement roommate because you're done.
I heard this person at work was saying she had like 2 or 3 roommates, and they were nice, so they didn't like air conditioning. So she like, I need it to, like, to be able to sleep, I need, honestly, we're in Florida, like, I need it to be in like the low 70s, and like they would turn it up to like something crazy because
They don't like AC.
yeah. And she said she literally had to get on like anti-anxiety medication to be able to sleep because she would think she would hear them in the hallways turning the heater on. And she wouldn't be able to sleep. And it just turned her like crazy.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, so sorry.
First of all, I'd be like, you literally have to purchase my anxiety medication every month
Yeah.
and my appointments to my therapist because you're literally making me go crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I will say that's one thing. I like it really cold at night, and my parents do not. That is one thing. We've gotten to a happy medium where it's like we're at 78 degrees, and then I turn the fan on in my room.
It's pretty hot.
And actually, it's not too bad. Like, for me,
78?
it's good. Yeah. I guess I don't like it too cold. Let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
I like it like,
Don't think you do.
I like a good mild temperature
With a little breeze.
with a breeze. I think I would like it colder. I just haven't really been able to get into that.
So they like it hotter
And-
than that usually.
Yeah, they'll leave it at like 80 or something. But I will I will say something that drives me absolutely nuts. If you're watching, Mom, because Dad isn't. If you're watching, they turn off the AC for most of the day, which is fine. It's like a nice breeze like today. Like, yeah, okay. I get home and I'm already hot. I'm hot. I wore this all day. I'm sweating, whatever. I get home and there's like no breeze and it's hot, and I'm like, I am losing my mind. And I'll be like, we need to turn the air on. It's like, no, leave the door open. I'm like, I'm literally gonna die.
Just go jump in the pool, like face first.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I'm like, so do I have to go dive into the pool now? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, that's the AC is kind of a thing. Very excited.
And I guess you can't say much because they pay for it.
Yeah. And like, I feel like for them, if they're both cold, I'm overruled. And like, they're my parents, so
Yeah.
regardless, overruled.
That's so funny. My mom keeps it at like 68.
See, I feel like I would die there.
Oh, I'm so cold.
Okay, I was like, that's
And every single time I walk in, like as soon as I walk in, she's like, "Do you need a blanket or anything?" She knows that she's like, it's cold everywhere.
You're miserable.
But she's like sweating. I was like, I don't know what is going on. I get cold during the day, so I don't mind the air being off during the day.
Yeah.
I'll turn my fan on. Even then, like if I'm riding the fan, like I'll put a little blanket on.
Same. Yeah.
But during the night, I do like it to be cold. I think we turn it to like 74 or 5 at night.
See, I could do that.
You definitely, I think you could.
Yeah.
But like, Barrington's parents hardly ever have the air on. And I go over there, it's like 80. And I'm sitting there trying to enjoy a meal, but I'm just like, I can feel the sweat dripping down.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And they make it spicy.
Yeah. And you're like, I am already sweating.
I can't do that.
The one thing though is like, I feel like if I keep it too cold at night, it's splendid and I have the best sleep, but to wake up the next day is like the hardest thing in the world.
It's almost torturous.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I had a boyfriend who would keep it super cold at night, and like at first I was like, hey, like I feel like I'm like, you know, in a blizzard every night, and I don't really love that. But then I started realizing that I'm like sleeping so well.
It's real under the
And it's like the most comfortable bed, and the softest blanket, and it's perfect cuddle weather no matter what season it is. But the next morning to wake up to go to the gym or to like go to work, I'm like, I'd rather die. Like, this is bliss, and now you're removing me, and now I'm freezing.
Let me tell you a little horror story. When I lived in my first apartment, you know I like my water scorching.
Yes. Stop. Cold water?
Well, it was always like lukewarm.
That is, I feel like, worse.
It is. There's so many times I was like crying out of frustration. Because at first you're like, you know, whatever. But after a year of not being able to, because I like it really hot, I would just have to get in and out as fast as I could. And like, there's not one time, even during the winter, where I felt like I was taking a warm shower. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
Don't go back there. Don't do it.
So, that's one thing I will never take for granted ever again.
Oh my god, you're so right. A lukewarm shower is the worst.
For a year.
Because if it's a cold shower, you're like, whatever, this is building character, or like, it's good for you.
But it's just on the edge of being warm and being cold.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if I'm shivering. Like, it's just, and they're in the winter, all you want is a hot shower.
Just one hot shower to like keep you going for the rest of the year. Wow, good point.
I don't know really what that has to do with anything we're talking about.
Me neither. But I'm like,
I
if I
had
have
to-
a roommate,
I had
I'm
to
trying
say
to
it.
kick them out. I'm gonna just make sure their water's lukewarm for the
I just
whole
had
year.
to say that.
Do you feel better? Good.
The water gets so hot here. I mean, you saw.
You literally had like...
We were in the bath with clothes.
Yeah, we were in the bath with clothes on for the podcast.
You'll see it.
You'll see it one day.
And we both were like, we like it really hot.
Scorching.
And, I mean, we're both sweating in there. And it's two girls, one tub. And it's
Obviously, we're gonna be sweating in the tub if there's two girls in just one tub.
It's really hot water.
Yeah.
But we have makeup on. And I don't think anything about it because I'm just like, I'm sweating, whatever. I go to wipe my makeup off. My face was like purple.
It was actually alarming.
She was like, are you okay? I was like, what are you talking about? I look in the mirror, I was like, it was like the color of your back.
It really was, though. She was like, you know, like when you have a really bad sunburn and it's like, there's red and then there's like past the red where you're like, this is alarming.
Like, oxygen may not be getting.
Yeah, like this, like, what do I do? Like that was her whole face. And I'm
And
like,
it was just my face, so it looked like I had been strangled.
Yeah, it was bad. And she was like that for like
an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a long time. We like sat down and ate and like
everyone was like good, and then we're just looking at Amber's like still like purple, and we're like, dude, this looks bad. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, like, so we went through waking up and going to bed. What about, how do you guys do dinner?
Ooh, I have something else too.
Please.
No, let's do dinner. Let's go over dinner. Hold on, I did just forget for a hot second.
Okay, say what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Forgetful Girl Summer is here. We're both on the struggle bus. Alright, go ahead.
If you're a health provider and you want to reach out and maybe do some studies on my memory, please hit me up for free. Okay.
I think it's contagious as well.
Yeah, because Amber's starting to lose her memory, and I'm like, oh my god, I've ruined her.
It'll be old age.
But we'll say I feel a lot better every time I forget something, and she's like, I don't know either. I'm like, great, doesn't matter. So I kind of briefly touched on this, I think. Now I don't remember. LOL. When you get home and you just want pure silence, and in Brazil, or there's like a saying, or like it was some joke, it's like called the box of nothing, and it's actually really funny because it talks about how like men can't like multitask or do anything at the same time. So they have like file cabinets. And it's like, okay, if I'm doing work, I go into the work file cabinet.
Like in their brain?
And do this, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then there's the box of nothing. It's like a file cabinet of nothing. And that's like when they're drinking a beer, sitting outside, staring into nothing.
And you know there's literally not a single thing behind the eyes.
Nothing. Dead eyes. You know that not a single brain cell is functioning.
Yeah.
That's the box of nothing.
Oh!
And I love
I misunderstood what you
the
said.
box of nothing.
I thought you said methane. And I was like, what does this have to do?
Like, alright, so listen. No, so, the box of nothing is my favorite place to be, where I usually put on a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a drink, or if I'm really just out, I do nothing. And I'll just put on a show. I actually don't even care if I've seen the episode, haven't seen the episode, don't care, whatever. And I think of nothing.
Yep.
And someone tries to talk to me, like if one of my moms, one of them, if my mom's like, how was your day? I'm like, honestly, I'm gonna go, I literally tell my parents, like, I'm going into the box of nothing. I'll probably be there for about an hour. After that, fair game, we can chat, we can hang out. It'll just be like a whole new reset button. But right now, can't do it.
Same.
See, my parents totally get it. I feel like that's not the same with you.
So he gets, I don't know that he gets it, but it's a common occurrence that I'm like, I'm going in the bedroom, I have a timer set for an hour, do not come in there.
Oh, that's so nice, yeah.
Now, whether or not he will actually not come in there, most of the time he doesn't, because he knows, like, if I'm in that state of mind, I'm gonna get a migraine, like, any second.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, I did not know that.
So
it's, like, serious business.
So he's like, okay, like, I don't want to see you throw up, so I'll, let you be. He doesn't care.
He can entertain himself.
I need, and he doesn't care. He's like, why don't you come read while I'm watching TV? I'm like, I would literally rather pluck my eyelashes out.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Like, I would only be half in my story and half in yours. Like,
yeah.
Because I can multitask and I'll be listening to both.
Yeah. There's no way you're going to shut that off. Yeah.
No. So, there's that.
That's good that you guys have that, though.
Well, he just
knows.
He just knows at this point that I'm like, because I'm an introvert and he's an extrovert. A lot of times when he needs something, he will go to someone. Mm-hmm. Like if he needs, energy
to recharge or whatever.
I have to be completely alone.
Yeah.
And I can either read a book, but sometimes I'm so just mentally exhausted I can't even do that.
Yeah.
And I go into what you call the box of nothing, and I just want to I don't even put on the TV. I just go into my bed. I might scroll my phone a little bit, or I might just lay there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I might just lay there and think of all the weird things I said that day,
I don't typically remember anything, so for me it's just a blank canvas.
That's even better.
Yeah, I'm like, I got nothing.
Because my brain feels so full, and I'm just like up to here for the day. If I walked in there and had to hang out with someone, one of us would die.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one.
It wouldn't be me.
It might be me.
It would just be like the person who's there. I'm like, all right, well, you're dead. I'm so sorry.
You did this to yourself.
You should have listened.
So that's good. I guess we both have a boundary that we can set there.
Yeah.
Do you guys sit down at the dinner table? Do your parents like you to have meals together?
It's like, it kind of changes every once in a while. Sometimes it's like, all right, let's have dinner together. But usually I'm just eating, like, for a while now. I've been eating, like, my own meals. So usually I'll just kind of grab it. And then my parents are, like, watching something on Netflix. And then they'll eat. And then I'll just kind of, like, linger or whatever. And then I'll probably just, like, go do some work or shower and go to bed. I don't have a super exciting nighttime nightlife, one would say. So yeah, I kind of just do my own thing, but we'll like engage with each other, but we're not like, we used to be like a sit at the dinner table, like put your phone away, let's talk, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I even get home like super late, so it's like, hey, I don't
Bye.
know. Bye. See you later. Good night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like a whole thing anymore, but it definitely used to be.
I remember at home, it wasn't like a. It's hard to even remember, honestly. I remember us all sitting on the table, but it gradually, I think, moved to like the living room.
Yeah.
As I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
So now, we both, in my current relationship, we just sit, we'll watch something together, and that'll be like the only time I watch TV. Or if I'm working on something, he'll actually kind of bring my dinner to me. He's very nice about food.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But now I'm not in school, so he'll just be like, what do you want for dinner? And then he'll make something, and then we'll sit down and watch like an episode of something, or two, and then I'll either go work on something or go read a book. And it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Low
catch
key.
up time.
Yeah. And we don't even have to talk, if, we can just watch, or, if we're both tired, I guess we can just watch the show, but either way, that's pretty nice. So it's just really the morning, the night, the afternoon that really gets to me.
It's just like every day, all day is what really gets to me.
It's the pubes.
The pubes, I could imagine, is very frustrating.
I can get over it, even though in the moment it seems like the worst, but I feel like I can get over the like snapping around in bed.
I don't know if I could.
I try. In the moment, it seems like the worst thing in the world. Like, I'm just like, why are you like this?
Like, you're ruining my life.
Yeah. So like, what if I have to get up early? And now I'm sitting there while you're snoozing peacefully, slapping me with elbows.
Yeah.
And we both have our own pillow, obviously, but somehow we both share mine. And every time I'm like, go to your pillow. He's like, I am on my pillow. I'm like,
no, you're on our pillow.
yeah. I'm like, if we're gonna do this, just get one giant pillow.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that. I'm a side sleeper.
Yeah.
I sleep in the fetal position. I like to move my pillow
Same.
around.
Yeah, and you just
but if there's a big head on it, it's hard.
Oh, hell no. I never thought of that. Oh,
yeah.
That would suck.
And I'm just like, you just woke up and you're kind of moving and you don't have any strength. And
you don't want to, like, really wake up because, like, you're just trying to, like, wake up.
Yeah.
Get something done.
Just get my pillow.
Yeah.
But there's a 20-pound head on it.
Filled with nothing, by the way, but just heavy somehow.
Somehow so heavy.
Yeah, that is the worst.
Another good thing is, like, splitting expenses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know you sometimes like buy your own food.
If I go to Publix, I'll we'll just like text each other and be like, hey, do you want anything from Publix? And we'll just like kind of put it all together, which is really nice, especially right now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I would say in terms of like expenses, it's definitely really nice to still be at home, and like that definitely helped me save to get my own place. Because it's like those little things definitely add up.
Oh yeah.
So that's been like, I'm so grateful for that. For sure.
No, I always said if I was in your situation, I would have done the same thing. There's no reason for you to spend money on rent when your parents live right here and you guys get along.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been weird for you to just use, $1,000 a month for something you don't
I'm gonna go live in a shed by myself. Like,
I mean,
why would I do
you
that?
have your own room. I mean, yeah, you guys, it was a good setup, so I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
She was able to save money, and like now she bought a place, and I would never have been able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a bad thing. I think that especially like after high school, it's like, I'm moving out, I'm getting out of here. And then like it just
never made it out.
Just never did it. And like I honestly don't regret it at all, and I especially feel like I just feel like it's harder and harder for people, like young people, to save money.
It is.
And like we're not getting paid as much, and like there's so many like
we all go get
health
degrees.
Insurance is so expensive.
And you don't get
so expensive.
Oh.
So it's like, I don't know, if I was talking to like a 19-year-old right now, I'd be like, dude, if you have the chance, just stay home.
I would say the same.
Does not matter.
Unless it's causing you some kind of distress.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, if you're in a good situation, stay as long as your parents will let you.
Yeah.
My brother stayed, I mean, he was in and out, but for the most part, he stayed till he was like 28.
Yeah.
And he was able to buy, you know, pretty nice house. I mean, you saw his nice house.
Yeah, it's a nice house. It's a really nice house.
He's got a nice truck. He has, I mean, he was able to save up and buy whatever he wanted.
And I think too, it's like, especially if you're able to like grow throughout, and it's not like mom and dad's doing everything.
Yeah, as long as you're independent still
Yeah.
while you're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So that's what I would. If I had to redo it, I'd still do it the same way.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Do you have any like regrets of the way you went?
No, because
Of the way you live your life?
I mean, it was definitely so hard,
Yeah.
especially the first few years. Like, I had to, like, oh my god, I had no money.
Oh my god.
No money. Like, I would have to search my car for quarters to be able to buy, like, a 4-piece chicken nugget for dinner at night. And that's, like, the only meal I had. I had no money. Yeah, it was really bad. I had nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that part was really hard. I was miserable in that first apartment. So there was no hot water. I had no money. I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't really know how to do because my mom did do like most everything for me while I was home. I never washed clothes. She mostly would clean the room. She did all the dinners. I never cooked anything. So I didn't really know how to do a lot. Still don't know how to cook. So that's a problem. But I can do everything else. But yeah, I don't regret it because I feel like I would not be in as good of a place with my parents if I had stayed with them,
Yeah.
in my opinion, relationship-wise. But the first few years were horrible, but it did teach me things, I guess, how to be resilient and save. But yeah, I was just literally just trying to scrape by to buy 4-piece chicken nuggets at night.
Dude, that's crazy.
I know. And then, you know, there's that time that I lived at that house when you knew that was a bad situation.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'll have to get into that sometime.
You definitely do.
Just to preface, you know, there might have been, I don't know how to word this. I know it's a lady of the night.
Like a prostitute.
That's what I was trying not to say.
So what she's trying to say is a prostitute.
Renting out a closet in a frat house. We'll get into it.
But let's be very clear. She did say rent out a closet in a frat house. That was clear.
I
I just want to make sure that there were no sound issues. That's exactly what she said. But we'll get into that maybe next.
My food
next
was
episode.
eaten anyway. So once I was able to get out of there, things looked up. The good thing now is, wow, that
That
is
is
striking.
a giant, beautiful, masculine lizard. Oh, hello. Oh.
He's looking right at us. Yeah, but the splitting the bills thing is really nice. So, you know, I had my own stuff, but we split like HOA and utilities and the groceries. We go grocery shopping. We never go alone. You know, we go together and split it. So that's nice.
Yeah. When you moved to the first place, did you split things, or was it because you lived with a boyfriend, right?
Yeah, so we split. So his dad paid for his room and my dad paid for my room. And then we did the same thing with grocery shopping. We went together, split everything. And we didn't have, the place I was in, like, you didn't really have, like, utilities were kind of included in that.
Okay, yeah.
So I just had to pay for everything else, which seems like nothing, but at the time it was a lot.
Heck yeah.
I mean, even just gas was a problem.
Yeah.
You might have to deal with this now, but once you move into your new place, you won't have to. Just for instance, like, I got a fish tank, and it's something I had to run by because I'm like, and I get it, right? Because it might affect everyone, but in the end, I got that fish tank.
She did. She didn't care. She's like, whatever, I'm getting it.
No, if I was gonna get a hamster,
Right.
And then he was like, no. I'm like, you know,
I feel like you still do it though.
maybe.
So it's a hamster.
I did get a dog when he said not to. Then he
See?
lost it.
Oh yeah, that was so bad.
We should get into that as well.
That's another good story. You need to talk about that one lady who tried to kill you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We have a lot of good stories.
I forgot about my almost murder. That's another thing. If I was there alone,
I will say, the other day, I'm at my apartment, my dad left, he was like fixing something in my closet. He leaves, and it's just me. I'm sitting there literally watching paint dry. It was one of those days. I had to watch it and be on paint duty. It was super boring. I'm just sitting there watching paint dry, and I'm like, you know, it'd be so fucking annoying if my house was haunted. Like, I just had this thought. I was like, this would really just put
you would know already.
quite the wrench in the situation.
You should know already.
I feel like I would, but like, it was one of those like,
Yeah.
man, wouldn't that suck? Like, after all this, and you're haunted. This guy's still staring at us. It's a lizard man. Oh. Ooh, sorry, I didn't want to
Mating
feel
call.
up. Are you gonna do a mating call?
He's chunky.
Sir!
I told her before she got here, if you watched the last episode, I referenced Stumpy.
Mm-hmm.
He was here.
And
Hopefully we'll have him on at some point.
yeah, I would love to interview Stumpy about his experience.
I don't know how he lost his leg in the war, but there was some kind of war.
There was definitely a war, but he survived.
He did.
But anyway, so
I get easily distracted by lizards.
God. So yeah, he what? So I'm sitting there watching. God, this is gonna be a tough episode. So you're watching paint dry. I have this weird thought, and then all of a sudden I hear this like bang coming from the bedroom that's gonna be mine, and I'm like, and I hear it again, and it's like a repetitive noise. Sitting there, I'm like, all right. It doesn't sound like it's any kind of construction. I'm like going through my head, like, all right, well, what? Obviously, like, come on. And then I go, I'm like, clearly, I'm just gonna do what every movie tells you not to do. I'm just gonna go investigate. Do I want to? No. Do I have to? Let's just get it out of the way. Let's introduce ourselves. You know, get that out of the way. See what I'm dealing with. Go into my room. Nothing. Silent. Nothing's there. Empty. And I'm like, dope. Obviously, this is going to be a problem. And then I hear it again right when I turn around. It was a bird, like, hitting the window.
That's
trying to
scary.
get in. I know. I was also like, are you okay? Like,
No, we've had that here too, and I can hear noises all day. I see the bird, but that's on scary movies too.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
wasn't that
are you
in
a it was on so many
Hereditary?
things. So many things.
Yeah, I know. And I thought the same thing. I was like,
It's
that's
always
also
like a freaking
kind of a bad
crow.
omen. Yeah, but this is like a really beautiful robin. I checked.
Like,
I was
excuse
oh.
me, can I make a home in there?
Yeah, I'm like, come on in, dude. You're good. I love you.
Okay, if there's a robin.
Yeah, I feel like a robin's not scary.
No.
You know, there's like no weird
It's still
vibes.
weird, but
So,
well, do
not
you
sure.
remember when I had that dove that lived outside my apartment? It was the last apartment
Mhm.
that we
Okay.
had. His name was Dave,
Yes.
and he just showed up and never left.
Yes. And like, was it like near the stairs? What was
He was
it?
literally living right outside my door.
Was that where it was?
I mean, we were right by the stairs, but like, I opened the door and he was just sitting there, and he never left.
You didn't name him Dave. Was there a second one? Or did I
No.
make that up?
No.
Okay, I made that up.
But it was starting to get gross because he lived there and he just shit.
Oh, yeah, that's a rumor.
Because that was his house. But he wasn't scared of the dogs
Yeah.
or us. He would not fly away for anything.
I was like, well, I'm part of the family. Dude, did you ever say bye to Dave? Duff?
Well, on our last few weeks, he wasn't there. And I can't remember
And you
what.
never saw him again?
No.
Oh, damn.
But I think he must have been like, because he was a white, like, pigeon or dove. I don't know. I heard they both went white. But I think he might have been like released from some kind of ceremony. Because he had definitely been handled before. You know? Like a
Whoa.
wedding or something.
Yeah.
Because he'd seen people before for sure.
Is that legal still? Okay, I'm gonna put
Is
a
it?
dove in a box.
The
Also,
box part, maybe. I know.
Where are you gonna get like a dove? Like, so, I have questions.
Dove.com.
Not the chocolate. the bird. Is it like, so you get a dove that's been hanging out with his family, And then he gets put in a box just to be released into nature. Like, is that?
He's never had to deal with before.
Yeah, and he's like, what the
It's starting to
fuck's
sound like
going on?
animal cruelty.
Yeah, does PETA know about this? Have they investigated the
I'm
death
sure they
releases?
have. If I had to guess, I would say death. But yeah, he was a fun little pet.
Yeah, that was fun. That was weird. That was so weird. She has weird
The weirdest
stuff.
things happen.
It's really like, I'm always like,
Who else would have just a random bird?
literally no one.
A white bird just live outside of their house.
Shit everywhere.
And just shit.
And
And he was tame.
it's weird. And like, even your dogs didn't scare it. No.
That's the weird part. Like, they would bark at it, obviously, and he would just be like, hey, it's
Like,
Dave here.
What up? I'm Dave. What's good?
But yeah, I can't remember where I was going with that.
No
Okay.
idea how we got there. No idea how we got there.
Oh! So you had a scary encounter with a bird.
Yeah, but how did we get there?
You would say your dad was there, and you're like, oh, I feel it's haunted. That would suck.
How did we get there?
Well, I don't know, but I was gonna expand on that. I don't remember how we got there, but
Okay.
so I used to work in real estate, and you knew immediately, right?
Oh yeah.
You
I
know,
remember you saying that you'd be scared. sometimes.
you know when you walk in.
There's
there.
like there's an
There's
energy.
an energy.
Yeah.
And I will say, and you've lived here without us before, so you can tell me what you think. I don't feel that here, and there's every reason to feel that here, because there's a cemetery across the street and a funeral home next door.
I will say, I don't usually feel it, but there was one night that I was like, and it just made me uncomfortable.
Did something happen, or you just got a feeling?
I just got this weird, I was just chilling, doing my thing, everything's great, dogs are hanging out, and then all of a sudden I was like, nope, I feel weird, and I just went straight to bed. Like that night I was like, yep, we're going to bed right now.
Yeah, I've had experiences here of like that should have scared me.
It didn't feel scary
It,
though.
it doesn't feel scary though. Yeah. So, well, that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. But
No, it's weird.
I don't get scared necessarily. Whereas with my mom's house, any little thing, I'm like, oh, hell no!
Well, yeah, your mom's house is next level.
Yeah, I'm so scared.
That's true.
So, I'm never scared. There's been a couple times where I would call my boyfriend and say, something happened, I'm feeling a little uneasy, can you like stay on the phone with me or like come home right now?
Can I tell you a story? I guess you're not going to do that anymore, right? Like real estate stuff?
No.
Okay. I listened to a podcast episode from Crime Junkies, and it was a story about a woman who was in real estate, and she was going to show a couple this house. And then her boyfriend waited for her outside the house, and she was like, I'm just going to show them really quick, and then I'll like come out and we'll go to whatever they were going to go to. So he's outside the house, he sees the couple, they go inside, and then she ends up getting stabbed and murdered, and it was like this horrific murder. And I guess they the couple left through the back, and so the boyfriend's
What was
calling.
the point?
Well, so it was never solved, and they think that it was like a hit, they're someone hired this hit couple, I guess.
So,
Hitman.
not that it's like a super common thing, but it's not like unheard of in real estate because most of them are women.
Yes.
And there's when I never encountered someone horrible, but I was always scared because you're going in a house you've never been at before.
Right.
With people you've never met before.
Yeah, there's no background check on them.
No. And in an area you probably don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's very scary.
Very scary.
They make apps just for realtors to be like emergency apps because
Really?
it's like
That's
yeah.
good to know.
Because the women, they can get kidnapped, murdered, raped.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's very scary. And I will say, with the energy thing, there's been so many times I've been in empty houses, and some of them I go straight in, don't think a second thing about it, and then the next house I'll be like,
no.
as soon as I walk in, my hair stands up, and I'm on edge the entire time, and I just want to leave so bad. but I have to be there for like an hour
Oh my
by myself,
God.
and I'm just sweating, and the whole time just like, you know, I don't hear anything, I don't see anything, but like something, I just feel something. And there's been other houses that are like, I don't even think twice about it.
Just do your thing.
And then, but as soon as I walk into those ones, I'm like, I'm immediately like, oh my God, I don't want to go in there.
Please just go. Like,
Yeah.
go take a lunch break.
Like, why can't I have someone come with me?
Yeah, for real though.
But the house, it had dolls everywhere, and it was super dark, and like, it was an old house, and it like the layout of it was like so weird. Like, it had 2 hallways going like I don't know. It was just, there's so many old houses in Gainesville that are just so scary. Oh, I hated
How
it.
cool would it be if we did another series? Even though it's like, this is the only series we're gonna do. And it's like a haunted house series, but we go to like open houses on all the open houses that you know are creepy. That would be so fun.
The only thing is, it wouldn't be so scary because there's only people.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
It was only scary because I had the key and I was.
And you're by yourself. Alright, go get that job back.
It was, yeah. It was not the highlight for sure.
Would you go in like a haunted, like, would you stay at a haunted hotel?
If I was like with you, I think I would.
And like, we shared a room. Yeah. I really want to do that. My sister really wants to do it. But my only fear is that, like, she definitely is a little too close to the spirits and stuff. Like, they love her.
They really do.
And I just don't want to, like, if she can go in a room, but then I'm, like, afraid that she'll die.
Or like, I don't want to be by myself.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing it by myself. Absolutely not.
My mom, she's really into that kind of stuff, and she's not like really scared of it. So she rented, her and her cousin are both like super into it. And they went to St. Augustine and rented a hotel room that's supposedly haunted, but they said they didn't see anything or hear anything. But I was like, I guarantee I would go in there and have some kind of weird experience.
For sure.
We
If
should-
it's you,
We
for
should
sure.
do some kind of ghost tour in Orlando. Oh, yeah.
Dude, we really should. And I feel like it'd be so much fun to, like, do an episode.
I wonder if they'd let us.
In a room? In a hotel room?
Oh, I thought you meant in like on a excursion.
Oh, wait, duh, that's... I'm like, yeah, we'll get a haunted room.
Wait, we have a room.
We have a room. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that...
Maybe it'll be haunted. I don't know.
That would be wild. Yeah, we should do an excursion.
I think that'll be fun.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. Get a little drunk,
Yeah,
and
for
it'll be
sure.
scary.
Yeah. We'll just scare ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll look in the mirror and be terrified.
I can't think of any more comparisons. I mean, obviously you would have to ask if you got a pet.
Yeah. That was one thing about how I got Blue. I was like, hey mom, I want a dog. And she's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, but so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I don't know how it's gonna work. And then it ended up being like, okay, I'm either getting a cat or a dog. So what would you prefer? And she's like, a cat. I'm like, done deal.
And was she on board at this point, or was she still like, oh, I don't really?
She
want
was still
to.
like, no. And I was like, listen, mom, I'm just gonna
Now she's
foster.
in love.
I'm just gonna foster. And now she's trying to steal my child from me. So that's kind of awkward. But we've had multiple long discussions about how she's not allowed to steal my child.
And how do you think that's going?
I think she's listening to it. I don't know if she's fully absorbing it. So if you see a police report or like an Amber Alert, yeah, it's because my mom stole my cat.
And the thing is, it wouldn't be the first time someone stole your little cat.
Everyone's obsessed with my cat. They try to steal her.
She is gorgeous.
Cutest
Yeah.
angel.
Her birthday?
Oh my god.
Her birthday! She grabbed the bag,
She took it.
and then she took the fish.
She took the fish. My coworker gave her a like fish that like flops. And I was like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna love it. And then my mom's like, she's gonna be scared. I'm like, just give it to her anyway, because I had to go to work. And then my mom's like, she didn't love it. So I gave it to her again. And she just like, I guess, figured out that she loves it. Obsessed with this fish. Obsessed.
Really?
It's the cutest thing. It's like a trout.
Oh yeah, I have one.
Of course you have one. For who?
Well, I originally got it for Smelly,
Oh yeah.
this cat that I was babysitting. He hated it, so I brought it home to the dogs, and Dump likes it.
I literally was gonna say, please tell me Dump likes it. It's a white animal thing.
Yeah. So I was like, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have to.
You probably have the exact replica.
Yeah, it looks like a trout. I don't know my fish species.
I don't either. I said trout and it sounds right.
It does sound like a bass or trout or something freshwater.
Yeah. What? I have no idea.
But yeah, her birthday was so cute.
I gave her a little salmon fillet
It was
cake.
Yeah.
And it was so okay, saying happy birthday.
And she just grabbed it.
She ran, she started eating it, and then I had to like break it into pieces. She didn't know how to handle the whole thing. And it was just
What was in the bag? The trout?
It was the pink fish, and then 3 balls.
Oh.
3 different balls.
She a ball girl?
She's such a ball girl, yeah. She likes simple.
Mm-hmm.
The fish is like the most advanced, I think, in the toy arena. But yeah, just very simple. She likes tinfoil, like aluminum balls that you crumble up. She's a big fan of, we have like a little empty pill bottle. She likes that.
Huh.
No idea what that is, but yeah.
She's still like, I think she was playing with a lot of tags or...
Oh, she loves this little mouse. Like this big. We call it her baby. And then she has a bigger mouse, and we call it her big baby.
That's exactly what we do. Like, big baby, little baby,
Yeah.
brown baby,
Yeah,
white baby.
exactly. Like, we need a name.
Christmas
them.
baby.
I love her so much.
We're obsessed with our animals. We have to do a meet and greet at some point.
Yeah, I still know how that's gonna work with your dogs and my cat.
Oh, well, we'll just have to film it separately.
Great point. Let's
Yeah.
do that. So I was like, I don't know the logistics.
It wouldn't
behind
work.
this.
It wouldn't work. We'd have to do it separately, but I still think it'd be cute. If you
Well,
guys want to see it,
Yeah.
we have the cutest animals in the whole
We
world.
sure do.
And you probably want to see it.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. So I think that's. We went on so many rants today. I think it's fantastic. To wrap this up, because we can't remember anything today.
At all.
I don't even know where to go with this, but yeah, like.
Live with your parents as long as you can.
Yeah, I would say, live with your parents if you can for a while. Do whatever works for you.
That's the moral of the story.
This is the moral of the story. We're such idiots today.
It's been a long week, I think, maybe.
It's Friday, right? We've gone through
I
a
still have
lot.
to go feed someone's dog. So,
All right. Anyway, we thought it'd be interesting kind of compare and contrast these
There's a lot of
situations.
similarities.
Yeah, I would say so.
A lot of differences. And more of like just the hygiene.
Yeah, definitely the hygiene part. But yeah, can't wait to live alone for a while. Amber's gonna come over whenever, get some peace and quiet. We can just each go in a room and just not speak to each other.
That'll be fun.
That sounds fine. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed our random rants, and
We'll be back next week.
we'll see you next time
You're
for
welcome.
Hot Girl Summer.